In today's review, I'm going to be reviewing a film from 1999, I believe, called Resurrection. Welcome back, everybody, to my April's Easter egg hunt movie review series. Chicago homicide detectives Prudhome and Hollingsworth, who are both assigned to investigate a murder, both become entangled in the plot of a serial killer whose goal is to recreate the body of Christ. Definitely on the weirder side, all mostly positive things here, but first off, I felt the lighting was a little bit dull. The framing is good. The editing reminded me of episodes of the TV show Bones mixed in with Saw. Similarities with Saw kind of start appearing and all that. Symbolism and lore from the Bible is perfectly integrated within the story, and just the way that they incorporated everything and had that as like backstory, and I think it was Bible verses that were etched in, and the names of the people that the killer was targeting had to do with like the apostles, and just everything, like the details that they included. I don't think I'd be able to put into a script or anything where it's like, okay, here's why, and then here's the connection there. I'm sure I could at some point, but they pack so much stuff into it that it's just unbelievable how it all worked. It was well written, decently acted, and decently shot, but it looks and feels like a TV movie now. I'm not 100% sure if it actually was. It kind of makes sense with it reminding me of Bones, which I'm sure most people know what show Bones was about. So in one scene there's a weird fisheye effect that just kind of looked out of place. At the beginning of the film, it's more of a laid back kind of like edit, like there's longer shots, and then after the first encounter with the killer, the editing kind of gets a little bit faster and the pacing gets a little faster as well to showcase that more intense aspect of it. It was pretty good otherwise. Like there was some more like weird editing done to it, like there was these weird zoom close-up shots that are kind of hard to describe unless you've seen the movie and know exactly what shots I'm talking about. Regardless of how weirdly edited the film is, it works for the film and for the story. I probably would have edited it a little bit different, more like something more typical and not as much experimental and flowy that the end result actually was, but like I said, it works for the film. The film stars Christopher Lambert, who is in, I think, Highlander. I could be wrong on this. I think I've seen him in a couple one. I always saw him as like one of those low budget action stars, but was still popular enough to get a lot of roles, I guess. David Cronenberg is actually in the film. I think Cronenberg actually plays a priest in this. Overall, it was a very good film, and I like the fact that when we do find out who the killer is, we see these flashbacks to show that somebody that we were introduced earlier on in the film was actually the killer. And like I've often heard that sometimes the killer sometimes comes to help the investigation, something along those lines. Almost always the serial killer in some way helps out with the investigation without giving themselves away. Now, I could be totally wrong, but they kind of showcased that, and it was like a little cool touch to the film. It was Nightmare Beach that I said was kind of connected. Well, in that film, spoiler alert for that film, it was actually the priest behind all the killings and was targeting people that clearly were, I guess, sinners, you could say. So the religious aspect is what I felt was kind of a connection between these two films, even though this one's a lot more of a gorier version of that kind of story, like a serial killer story. It definitely was gory. It did have some intense moments. So if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it an 8. Aside from some weird elements in the film that I couldn't get behind, it was a pretty good film. So I do recommend, if you haven't seen it, that you do check it out. I don't think it's on any streaming services, so you might have to get a DVD copy if you do want to check it out. Give this video a like if you enjoyed the review, and subscribe if you're new. We still haven't gotten to the weird films yet. The next film is connected, I guess, in a way to this film, and I would say it's a good companion movie to watch alongside of it, even though there was like a day in between for me. Stay tuned for the upcoming reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.